and really did a lot of damage to Flash. I mean, that could have been so much worse. I mean, Flash could have lost the game right there to those two attacks, and Flash just minimized damage so well. So, I mean, even though Leta went with a strong opening, I mean, look at Flash. I mean, he's so fast with the scanner. He already has his Goliath there, not making any silly mistakes. I mean, the first factory mistake was kind of surprising. But still, I mean, the SCB had only took 2 hits there. And Leta's going to be running around with this Wraith. And Flash, getting that early Academy, one of the things he likes to do is use that scanner for information. Constantly keep factory counts, dropship counts, you know, what bases they have. And this Wraith flying around causing havoc is not letting Flash do that. And that's really going to kind of push Flash out of his comfort zone, because a lot of times he doesn't like to send SCVs around or flow buildings around. He really relies on that early Academy and early scanner to get a lot of information. So he's going to be in the dark for the most part about what Leta's going to do. And that's going to hurt, especially considering he's going to need to go on the offensive here and put some sort of containment up on Leta, even though, I can't even imagine him going to be able to do that. I think Flash's really best bet to this point is to put a third base up, get a third gas, and just try and play for the macro game. And see, Leta already knows that, and Leta's sending out that SCV and checking to make sure that Flash isn't sneaking something out. So, nice hindsight there from Leta. I think both players are just playing excellent so far this game.
Yeah, I agree. I really like Leta's strategy, too. I like what he was doing there. I like the aggressive Marines. It's just not something you see very often, aggressive Marines against a 1-base. I mean, normally if your opponent's 1-basing, you wouldn't try any kind of aggression at all, but he looks like he really figured out that timing pretty well. I think both players have siege at this point, and both players probably... Oh no, Leta's moving down with his 5 tanks, so I don't know what he's planning to do with these. Maybe he's just trying to set up a little contain to prevent Flash from taking a quick third. Oh, he's got a lot of vultures, actually. I think Leta has way more units at this point. Flash has some catching up to do. I know Flash has some...
Yeah, he has to be at least 15 or 16 ahead on supply.
Yeah, okay, he can't shell that base from anywhere now. What is he doing with these tanks? These tanks are too far down. He doesn't need them to be all the way down there to set up a contain. Maybe
what is he doing?
What is he planning?
Oh, he's sneaking around.
Oh, wow. Okay, he's not really going to work.
Good tank placement from Flash, though. God, Flash plays so smart.
Oh, these mines are going to get off, though. These tanks are in trouble here. Oh, wow.
Not one mine went off. God, Flash is so good.
Oh my god. I could have gone so much worse than it did. You know what? Flash definitely got the better of that exchange. He lost 3 tanks and what, maybe a vulture or 2? To Leta's 3 tanks and like 17 vultures. But Leta's already got a dropship out, so he's going to probably, well, not right now, but he's definitely going to start wreaking havoc with drops before Flash does. Flash at this point, I think he's got the go-ahead. He can take his 3rd base. He's cleared out. He's got some map control back. He doesn't necessarily has map control, but at the very least, he knows he has enough units that he can defend any kind of aggression from Leta. So I mean, we're gonna have to see what it is here. Leta actually putting up 2 more factories really quickly. I mean, I don't know. Do you need 6 factories off 2 bases? Is that something you do if you're planning some kind of aggression? It looks like Flash only has 3 factories. Oh, another.
Yeah, well, Flash is a real conservative player. He really likes to go for the... Oh, wow, this vulture drop's doing a lot of damage. Flash was not ready for this. I mean, he had the turrets, but he just guessed that Leta wouldn't enter with his dropship. And I'm not... Did you see if Leta escaped with his dropship, or did he lose that? I have to presume that he did.
No, I didn't see it either.
Sitting over the turrets, just because he had to sit over the turret to drop, so... one thing I don't think Flash kept in mind is I don't think Flash thought Leta would sacrifice the dropship just to get those 4 vultures worth of damage. Excellent control there from Flash, cleaning up that drop. His tanks were, but they were in a good position. I mean, when you're behind, even though I don't think Flash is that far behind, I mean, when you're in a defensive position, at least, you can't defend every spot, and you really have to cut your losses. And it was a good attack by Leta, and it's one of those things that Wraith into dropship transitions into so well, because Wraith does some economic damage, and it kind of forces a player like Flash to go for sort of like other expansions, and then you have the dropship for increased mobility to stop them from going for those expansions. So really nice transition from Leta, but Flash playing very smart, after he clears out those forces, able to take his 3rd, and I mean, now we can pretty much see, right in stone where Leta's advantage stands. I mean, Leta's got 2 factories on Flash, and his command center is about 30%, but Flash is going to take that SCV out. So, you know, right there, that's half of the advantage, and now Leta's only has a small advantage on factories, and I don't think his unit count is that high. So Flash definitely just racing back in this game. I mean, he doesn't have vulture speed, but he's playing very good. I mean, he's cutting everywhere he needs to, and he's playing just excellently to come back. But that was real good. I mean, Leta really showed that this game he can come to the table with a really strong build, something that was well prepared for Flash and had really good timing. So, I mean, Flash is going to have a tough time. I mean, look at how big of a tank advantage Leta has. Flash having 3 machine shops up, I didn't think Leta would have that advantage, but it seems like he does. And Flash is actually moving out with these wraiths. He's going to be up to these wraiths. If these wraiths can pick out some of these tanks, I think Flash can, you know, break this middle containment. Just awesome move from Flash. Flash has just been playing so excellent. Like, this is just an awesome TVT play. Flash is just so good.
Yeah, Leta has an armory, but he had not even produced 1 Goliath up until this point, so he's going to lose at least a few tanks here. He's going to have to bring down SCVs to start building turrets and just to prevent them from taking shots from the tank. Well, Flash should really not push up here yet, I don't think. Okay, he's just found a perfect range to siege. But this is, like, again, just a perfect play from Flash, doing every little thing to fight his way back into this game. What more can you say about this guy? I think a lesser player would have already lost the game by this point, or at the very least have been so far behind that it would have been basically a walkover. But Flash is still, I mean, pushing ahead. Leta still definitely has the advantage, especially with his multiple dropships and compared to Flash's none. But I mean, you know, it's up to him. The onus is on him to do damage with this dropship, and if he doesn't do any damage, then Flash isn't looking too bad at all. Especially considering he's picked off like 4 tanks here. Oh, okay, he knows how many dropships there are now. The contain here is going to stay up, but it's not a big deal. Flash has a starport up, so he's going to start building dropships pretty soon himself, probably. I know he's built a few more wraiths, but I can't imagine that he's still building them. He probably has a starport on that thing now. And he's got 3 gases going pretty safely, so he's going to be able to get around this contain. But it might be a good idea for him. Wow, this is really a really far-reaching contain. I didn't realize how much of the map he had under control. So he's building turrets and everything. I mean, this is like a 2003 style TVT contain. We don't really see this style too often anymore. But you know what? I mean, Flash is such a good player. He's going to be able to find holes. I don't think doing a contain like this is just the best way to play. I mean, you just, no matter how much you have, you just cannot cover every area of the map. And all it takes is like a little bit of a weakness. I mean, if a player has 4 or 5 dropships, even if you have 2 turrets there, if he drops all of his shit, those 2 turrets are going to die before they kill more. Like, at the most, they're going to kill 1 dropship, if even that. So, I mean, it's really going to be up to Flash here to find that hole in the container. It looks like he's already kind of done that. He's already found a little hole, and he's making up some ground. Or at the very least, oh wow, what he's doing is preventing Leta from taking that easy 4th gas right there. So that's a pretty good move by Flash. So, I mean, like you said, he's just clawing his way back into this game. And basically doing everything right, even though he was at a disadvantage.
I'm going to disagree with you a little bit, though, on the containment. I thought that was a really excellent move there from Leta, setting up the containment, because you have to realize that, you know, yeah, Flash is going to go and he's going to look for holes, but immediately when Leta saw those wraiths, oh my gosh, Leta's building so many command centers. But I mean, this is the purpose of this build. Once Leta saw that Flash pretty much gave up dropship mobility control in favor of wraiths, Leta just set up a containment and just put up a bunch of turrets and tanks, because Flash has no dropships and he can't leave this containment. There's no way that you can break a containment with wraiths. I mean, Flash is basically playing the harassment push game, and I don't know if this is going to work against the unit advantage that Leta has. And Flash has a very small timing window, and I don't even know if he's really going to have one at this point, because Leta's already going to have his 4th gas going up. I mean, he has it in the upper left, and he's building 2 more. And Flash is going to really have to make one huge all-in push to try and break an area that contain. I don't think, you know, he could find a hole, but he just doesn't have the mobility to abuse that hole. And he's really, he's going to have to break through the middle, I think. Like, Leta has the high ground on 2 sides, and then Leta has just a massive tank force in the middle with 5 dropships, it looks like, patrolling around whichever side that Flash decides to attack. So it looks like Flash, I presume he is transferring SCVs, although he may be going for the break now. And Flash actually taking his mineral only there to transfer the SCVs in his main. But Flash, I guess, now transitioning to dropships, but this is going to be tough. I mean, Leta's going to have so many units right now. he can pretty much, like, when you have like 6 command centers like this, you can just build 3 SCVs in each one, and then you just massively have a perfect economy from what you have normally. I mean, he can just take all of his gases. And wow, actually Flash secured that gas expansion. Good move from Flash. And Leta's, you know, Flash definitely not letting Leta get ahead. I mean, that's one thing that Flash has been doing so well this game, is that Leta took an advantage and Flash is just grabbing onto him and he is not letting him run away with it. And that's one thing that players like Leta and players like